Have you ever been extremely frustrated by putting a lot of time and effort into high quality blog posts, whether you wrote them by yourself or you used AI to write them, but only to find that you're getting absolutely no traffic? It's like Google hates your blog post or just hates you. Well, in this video, I'm going to show you 5 very simple strategies that you can implement to go from 0 clicks to 0 impressions to something that looks a little bit more healthy like this. More clicks means more traffic, means more sales or leads to your website from your blog post, which is the whole intention. By the end of this video, I'm going to give you 5 solid strategies that you can implement where Google just cannot ignore your content anymore. But before we get to these, we need to understand, why is Google kind of ignoring your content, or how can I see which pages are being ignored? You need to go to your Google Search Console and need to go to Pages here, indexing. And if you scroll down, you're going to see why your pages aren't being indexed. You're going to see a lot of messages here depending on the state of your website. The one that we're really attacking today is this message here: crawled, not indexed. And this is essentially Google's way of telling you, no, I've seen your content, I just don't like it, which is a little bit passive aggressive, but at least we know how we can fix this. And now we go on to the first strategy. And this is linking from a blog post or a page that is currently indexed and is getting traffic to the page that isn't indexed. This is kind of like metaphorically getting the index page to reach out and touch or give a handshake to the content that is not being indexed. And it's saying, hey, because I am being seen by Google, if I associate myself with you, your chances of being seen by Google are going to increase. That's why internally linking is such an important thing. So how does this work in theory? Well, you need to find a blog post that is actually being indexed by Google and is getting a lot of traffic. And how do you know that? Well, I know personally this blog post is getting traffic and I can verify that. I can go to my Google Search Console account. If I go to Performance and I filter by pages, I see which pages are bringing me traffic organically, and I can see that this blog post about how to write SEO content that ranks with DeepSeek R1 is getting a bit of traffic. So great, I've got a page that is indexed and is getting traffic. Now, all I need to think about is, well, where in this section can I link to this blog post about how to optimize for GEO, which is generative engine optimization, and how to get more traffic and make your content kind of extremely shareable. And I can read through my blog posts, and I know that actually I remember at the bottom of this blog post, I say, remember the thing is not to trick Google, but to create content so good that readers want to share. And this blog post goes into a bit more detail here. So my next step is to hyperlink from the indexed blog post here, where it makes contextual sense for you to link to the unindexed blog post. Now, what you want to do once you've done that is grab the already indexed blog post, go to your Google Search Console account and submit it to re-indexing. That's telling Google metaphorically, hey, I know you've had a look at this blog post. I've done a little update. Take a look at it again. Google will then look at it and say, yeah, I remember this blog post. This is all metaphorically, by the way. And it looks like you've done a change. You're linking to somewhere else. Let me have a look at that. This is the new unindexed blog post. This is going to increase the chances of that blog post getting indexed, therefore getting more traffic. Number 2 is simply updating the blog post. The honest truth is that sometimes your blog post just might not be good enough, or there is other content that Google says, well, this other blog post is talking about the same thing and it's adding a little bit more value. So then what do we do about that? Well, we've got a lot of free tools that can help us improve our blog posts. Let's take this one here, for example. I can use a smart reasoning model like GPT-03, or I can even use something like Perplexity. I can put the URL in there and say, can you please take a look at this URL and provide some advice with where I can improve the blog post so that it adds more value to the reader? And with a good reasoning model, particularly O3, which is mind-blowingly good, it'll do its research, come back to me with a critical response. And if you follow 1 or 2 of the steps and recommendations that it gives you, update your old blog post with the contents and the information that it gives you. You need to then again resubmit that old blog post to Google. It'll reread it and now it'll think, you've made a bit of an effort, you've updated it. Sure, let me index this. Let's take a quick look at the examples or the recommendations that GPT-03 gave me. Depth and originality, what's missing and weak. The article never moves past definitions. That's not too bad. How to fix it? Add a short mini case study. That's a great idea. Personal experience, Google loves that. That's probably already enough, but let's keep having a look at it. Broken formatting. Okay, step by step to do this. Use schema but not operational. So drop in copy paste template for local and FAQ schema. That is a great idea actually, because I'm giving the user the exact kind of formula on how to do that. So already with those two things, I can update this old blog, resubmit it to Google Search Console, and I should get it indexed. Strategy number 3 is very simple, but nobody really does it. And that is adding fun HTML interactive elements that add more value to your blog post. Let me give you a quick example here. This is a blog post all about how to create local SEO automations to either add more localized SEO services pages or other strategies like that. And in this instance, I provide a little fun interactive element that adds more value by adding supporting visual elements to make my point, to easily get my point across. For example, this is about local SEO page scalability, meaning if I'm providing all these services, house cleaning, apartment cleaning, Airbnb cleaning, and bond cleaning in different locations, how many pages do I need to build? So if I click on or toggle the Melbourne button, it tells me, I need to create 4 pages. What if I also want to add office cleaning? Now I need to add pages. 5 pages. Well, what if I want to do this in Brisbane as well? Now I need to add 10 pages. If I want to do it in Adelaide, 15 pages. You get the idea. This is really good for 3 main things. 1, this interactive element is different. No other blogs will have it, so you become a bit more unique. Uniqueness is a good thing. Google loves this. Number 2, it's sending the right positive signals because I'm clicking throughout the blog post and I'm interacting with this. These are all positive signals for Google. And number 3, I'm increasing the on time spent on the blog post. The longer the reader stays on your blog post, the better positive signals that you're giving to Google. Therefore, Google will think, well, people are actually spending some time on this post. You know what? I should index it. I should show it to more people. Number 4 is actually write or answer the questions that people are asking. A lot of people focus on keywords and say, I want to rank for this, but never ask themselves, well, are people actually searching for what I'm writing about? One of the lowest hanging fruit in SEO is going to things like people also asked or even answer Socrates, which has been one of my favorite recent tools. So for example, I'm going to find the topic, what is GEO? Or let's just go generative engine optimization. I'm going to select the country, United States, and the language, English. This is going to take a while, but it's going to return all of the questions that people are asking about generative engine optimization. What do I do with this information? Well, I want to see which one of these questions I can answer quite well. So for example, how to do generative engine optimization. What do I want to do now? I want to write a blog post that just answers that question in depth, meaning the title of the blog post ideally is how to do generative engine optimization. Maybe I can add in 5 easy steps. And the rest of the blog post is going to answer that question. I know it seems very silly, but this thing tends to work, particularly in the day and age of AI search engines. And number 5, the final one, which is a bit technical, but if you get this right, is it extremely helpful, is adding schema. Schema, or structured data, is kind of like a coding language in which Google prefers to be talked to. There is hundreds of different schema, like FAQ schema, service schema, language schema. The list goes on. And it's very difficult to know, well, what kind of schema can I add in this post? Let's do a quick test here. I'm going to grab an old post here. Let's say the one that we are ranking for, which is how to write content for DeepSeek R1. I'm going to place this in a rich results test. This is Google's free test to see if it can detect any schema. And if it doesn't, now we know, well, okay, let's add a bit of schema to this page, and I'm going to show you how to do that quite easily. Perfect. So now in this blog post, whilst it's ranking, I can probably improve it because it says no items detected. And if you don't know anything about schema, don't worry. All we need to do is use a tool like Perplexity. I'm going to paste the URL there and just ask Perplexity, take a look at this blog post, and I want you to tell me all the types of different schema that I could add to this to increase the searchability of it. I don't just have FAQ schema that I can add, but I've also got a how-to schema, which is actually really good. And I might do that instead. So I'll say to it, okay, understanding the content of the blog post, can you please create and return to me the how-to schema for this blog post? So now Perplexity has given me the JSON code. This might look a little bit tricky for you, but trust me, it really isn't. So what I'm going to do is copy this, and I'm going to go to the back end of my website where I have that same blog post. And I can do a couple of things here. At the bottom of the blog post, I can insert a little HTML code or HTML embed. There is where I'm going to place the schema. I'm going to save and close. I'm going to publish this once again. And once you fix the code, tested it again, you should see more detected structured data items. For this instance, I added course list items, course info, review snippets within that blog post. It's a little bit cheeky for me to do so, but hey, it tends to work. And if you want to learn how to maximize your SEO, get found more, getting you more leads or sales to your website, I'd encourage you to join our school community, AI Ranking, where we teach you every day how to leverage AI and automations to make these things a lot easier and make sure that you get found #1 on Google. There's a lot of things here for you. There is live Q&As where you can ask us questions. There is high detail tutorials that are updated on a regular basis. We teach you how to automate a lot of SEO, the things that should be automated, because not everything should be automated. You can join our live Q&As if you have any questions. We also bring other industry experts once a month. Last month, we had a YouTube expert, which was a lot of fun. So you're not only learning from me, but you're learning from other industry experts to help you rank higher. If you like this video and found any value in it, all I ask is that you consider subscribing to the channel and make sure you hit that like button. Cheers. I'll see you on the next one.